Hello, and welcome to another 20-minute tutorial. Today we're going to talk about how to uh, work with the new Android version 3 code from Buzztouch. This is the latest version that Buzztouch has put out that addresses the new Android fragments, as well as provides support for the new Google Maps API for Android version 2 API key. Once you download the new project files and import it into Eclipse, you will be able to take advantage of all the new goodness that Android has released, as well as the new Google API. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing we want to do is download our project files from Buzztouch, and I've already gone and done that. And it comes in a zip folder like normal. So the first thing you want to do then is unzip it and open up your folder. And you'll notice in the root folder that there is a PDF file, instructions v3 Android, and this file contains the steps that we're going to follow in this video tutorial. So go ahead and open that up, and we'll just go ahead and go through it and get this working. So you notice here that says you can use any version of Eclipse, and that they use Galileo over there in Buzztouch, but I actually use Juno, so it doesn't really matter as long as you have meet all the other requirements. We're going to be compiling the project source code using the Android version 4 libraries, and this is different than what we did with the Buzztouch Android version 2 stuff, where we use the Google APIs. Now we are using the Android APIs, and we are also going to be adding a reference to the Google Play Service library in our project properties. And I'll show you how to do that. So first thing it says to do here is tells you to unzip the application's project files, and we already went ahead and did that. And next thing we're going to do is import Android application into Eclipse, just like we did with the version 2 files. So if we go ahead and bring up Eclipse, and the way that I do this is I go to File, Import, check existing Android code into Workplace, Workspace, click Browse, go to your root folder, hit OK, and then hit Finish, and it'll go ahead and do what it does. Notice down here in the lower right hand corner it shows you the progress of building the workspace, and in a second I guess sometimes, depending if you've done it yet, it'll say it's loading the Android code and all that kind of good stuff. So you'll notice now that my Playtime app, which is just a test app that I use, has been loaded into Package Explorer, and it's ready to work with. So we've gone ahead and done this step. Next thing that we're going to do, according to, so let's go back up here real quick. So yep. So we've done this. Next thing we're going to do is set up Google Play Services project in Eclipse. So actually I should backtrack here real quick and tell you one of the things that you're going to want to do before you do all this stuff, or you could even do it now, but probably a good idea to do it before you do all this, is come in here to your Android SDK manager, open that up, and make sure that you have all the required packages. It'll save you time to have it done before you go through all these steps and everything. So open it up, and it's going to go out and search and see what needs updating and so on and so forth. And by default, it automatically picks the latest Android code, so you go ahead and uncheck that if you want. Let's go ahead and make sure that the SDK tools and the SDK platform tools are updated and installed. And then per the README, we need the Android 4.0 API. So if it's not installed yet, go ahead and click that. And why don't you grab the Google APIs while you're at it. I already have it installed, so I won't select that. And then if you come all the way down to the bottom here, you'll notice the Google Play Services, that needs to be installed. So if you don't have that, click it, and then you'll be able to install that package. And you'll notice that the README file, PDF file, when we get to it, let's see if I can remember where this says it. Says the emulator is going to require, yes. Android emulator has to be 3.1 or higher, so if you don't already have an emulator of that type, go ahead and go in here, the 3.0, the 3.1, click SDK platform for that, Google APIs, some of the mapping stuff, and then go ahead and install that. So I already have everything that I need, but if you don't, make sure all that stuff is selected, and then you'll be good to go. So come back to the PDF file. We're going to set up Google Play Services project in Eclipse. Now, they give you a link here to go follow to tell you how to do that. I'm going to go ahead and show you what to do. This assumes that you already have the Google Play Services downloaded via the SDK Manager, which I just showed you how to do. So next what we're going to do is import that library into Package Explorer. So same process, file, import, existing Android code into workspace, browse. Now, the thing that you have to do here is you need to browse your computer for your Android development stuff is, and I conveniently put all my stuff in the Android development folder. So go ahead and expand that and expand SDK, extras, Google Play Services, lib project, and get this Google Play Services lib. So you're expanding again. Go into your ADT bundle or whatever it might be called. This is what happened with my unzipped my bundle. You got SDK, extras, Google Play Services lib project, and then it brings you to the root folder of Google Play Services lib. Hit OK, and finish. And that's going to bring this into the workspace. And right down here in the lower right hand corner gives you the status, tells you it's loading a whole bunch of stuff, building the workspace, and then when it's done, it'll let you know. So that's been done. That's basically all this step 3 is. So next thing we're going to do, so you can set up the virtual device if you want. We're not going to go ahead and launch a virtual device here, but it has to be running 3.1 or higher. That's the same principle. Setting up the virtual device normally. I'll just go ahead and set one up, but we won't run it. Come here to your virtual device manager. Do new, if you don't already have one here. It's called Buzztouch V3 device. You can pick whichever device you want. Let's go to Nexus, target, Android 3.1. And then you can leave everything else you want. Notice it says Windows emulating RAM greater than 768 megabytes may fail. So if you want, just go ahead and change that to 512 or some value that won't give you that warning. And hit OK. So now we have a Buzztouch emulator, or an Android emulator running Android 3.1, which meets the requirements, minimum requirements for the Buzztouch code. Okay, so we've gone ahead and done that. Come back over here, see what's next. Alright, now you want to run it as the Android project. So a couple things to check out. Go to your Package Explorer, right click on highlight, and then right click on your project package. Go down here to Properties, go to Android. Want to make sure the Android 4.0 is selected. It is. And you also want to add this library. You want to add this Google Play library. Let's go ahead and hit add. Should already bring up the library projects that are loaded into Eclipse. So highlight that, hit OK. Then you can either hit apply, which will keep this whole dialog box open, or OK, which will save it and close it. So go ahead and OK. Goes and does some more stuff down here. So we'll give it a second while it's building the workspace again. Okay. So come over here, let's look at our problems. We have no problems listed. Everything looks good in the console. It's just all stuff from things that we've created. Go ahead and clear that. There's no red marks or anything, so all is good. So at this point, you might be tempted to just go ahead and run it. So why don't we go ahead and compile it, and I'm going to show you an error that you will get. And I'll show you how to correct it. So if you actually, it's so good it's still here. Sorry. Okay. So if you right click, do a run as, Android application. Actually, let's go and do a export so we don't launch the emulator. We're going to export Android application. Of our project. Use existing key store. Remember where this is. Windows, users, Android. So I'm selecting the default debug key store that comes with the ADT package, and the password is Android. And next, select the alias, Android again. This is the same for everybody. And next, give your destination file name and location. Save, and we'll do finish. So this is the whole compiling process of your Buzztouch Android version 3 code or project files. Now we should get an error here, hopefully. So we will give it a second while it does its thing. Just waiting for the error. So as you can see, pretty much everything is the same as it was with the version 2 code. The main differences is you have to add the Google Play Services library and link that library to your project, and then we're also of course using a different APK, not APK but SDK. So you're going to get this funky error message. Don't even worry about what it says. Just hit OK, hit cancel. What you want to do is come over to your project files here in the Package Explorer, expand it, expand libs. You will see that there is a file in here called Google Play Services Remove jar. So you want to delete that, and we do want to delete it. So at this point, that's good. Come back over here, just for good measure, do a project clean, and we'll clean everything. That just kills any existing links from the last time that you tried to compile it. And if you come over here to the problem section, there'll be nothing, so that's goodness. So let's go ahead and try to export our file again. Hit export, export Android application. That's the correct project. So debug key store, Android, next, Android, next. Same location, finish, and this time it should complete successfully. So I wanted to go ahead and show you that error so that if you see it, you'll know what to do, because chances are it just means you forgot to remove that jar file. If I had gone ahead and show you to delete it beforehand and then you forgot it at some point in the future, you wouldn't know what the error looks like, and it would jog your memory that you need to go back and delete that jar file. So just remember to delete that jar file. And if you forget and see that error message, now you know to go and delete the jar file. Okay, at this point, check our desktop. We'll notice that there's a playtime.apk, and you can load this into your device or into the emulator or whatever you want to do. So that is it in a nutshell. That is the method for loading the new Buzztouch Android version 3 code into Eclipse and compiling your APK. And you can also use these exact same steps to run it in the emulator. And if you've done everything the way that I showed you, you shouldn't hit any of these errors whatsoever. So you shouldn't have to worry about that. One thing to note before we leave is that you need to understand that the Google Maps are not supported in the emulator. That's an Android/Google issue. It has nothing to do with Buzztouch. We've done a lot of research on it, and there's just no way around it at the moment. So if you want to see the maps in your application run, you need to run in the monoreal device, because the maps are not going to work in the Android emulator. So I'll say it one more time. Maps do not work in the Android emulator. So you're going to need to run that on the new device. Okay, so that's it. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, just write up a forum post at buzztouch.com, and I'm sure somebody will answer it super quick. Thank you for using Buzztouch, and have a great time developing apps.